As many of you know, I've started working on my follow-up book covering the second and third years of the Vita's life. As part of writing the retrospective for Freedom Wars, I've been playing it again and have totally rekindled my love for the game. I bought it at launch and finished it within a few weeks, but I stopped playing when I hit the tough battles as part of the endgame content that I just couldn't beat solo. Even having the computer-controlled allies leveled up just was not sufficient to beat some of the really tough bosses. So I gave up on the game. My feelings on the game were slightly soured by my inability to progress. Even though I really enjoyed the game up to that point, not being able to get further annoyed me. I don't often play games online, and most of my Vita playing is done on the train to and from work, so I didn't really get into the online co-op. Returning to it now, I'd forgotten how good the gameplay really is, how fun the battles are, and how amazing it looks on the Vita screen. I've also been playing online a lot. I was surprised to find that going online, I was almost always able to find others to play with. I didn't always find a full room, but I would always find somebody at least. What was also surprising is that a lot of the guys online were people who had 0 years left on their sentence. In Freedom Wars, you start off as a prisoner with 1,000,000 years left on your sentence. It's only by carrying out missions for your city or panopticon, or donating items you find during battles, can you reduce that sentence down. When I completed the base game, I still had around 900,000 years left. The idea of reducing it to 0 seemed almost impossible to me. But the majority of people I've met online are at that point. It was with the help of some of these dedicated players that I managed to clear levels that were impossible to me at first, and level up my weapons enough to allow me to take on some of these tough missions even solo. It did get me thinking though, these guys I played with online don't need to play co-op missions any longer. They've conquered all the missions in the game, so why are they still playing co-op? I decided to speak to some of the guys I met online and on the Freedom Wars Discord and get their views on the game and what draws them to it all these years after its release. Thomas Falcon told me that he had played Freedom Wars for over 2,000 hours. The drive to craft the ultimate weapon kept him coming back, as well as the Freedom Wars community that he says are amazing. Despite putting in so much time into the game, he said, "I know this can seem strange, but I'm not even bored, and I'll continue to play the game until it really dies." I asked 4 Vermilion what kept him coming back, and he said, well, at first it was the journey to 0 years, since that was essentially the main goal of sinners in general. It seemed like one of the main goals of the game. It wasn't a quick or easy process by any means, but it was also incredibly entertaining. After getting to 0 years, he tried out the PvP mode, and he said he was pretty much instantly hooked. It was fast, it was intense. Alongside the seasoned veterans at the time, I played and improved and observed them in action. Whenever I saw something that worked, I incorporated it into my own playstyle. This whole cycle of learning and improving was what kept me going on the PvP side of the spectrum. 4 Vermilion was the first Western player to reach a maximum CP of 99,999, which is kind of like rank points, and he said that he's played for over 4,500 hours. When asked whether he helped other players with co-op missions, he said, "Absolutely, I have always taken a great pride in helping people out in any co-op game, and Freedom Wars is no different. I would regularly go into co-op lobbies, and whenever anybody needed a specific operation completed, or a specific part, I was more than happy to oblige. I suppose the real reason I do it is not only the feeling you get after knowing that you helped them, but also the fact that I was helped when I was new. It's my way of paying my dues, so to speak, giving back to the community that was so graciously given to me." Amima is another player who reached 0 years, and he's a YouTuber that posts videos of his PvP matches. When asked what kept him playing, he said, "There's just something about bringing down abductors and tearing them apart with comrades that's so fun about this game. While the co-op is fun, the PvP is really where the meat of the game is. This is the part of the game that keeps you coming back to it again and again, with how varied the battles can be." With over 1,700 hours of playtime, he also helps people out online. He said, "I do it because I love the community and helping people out in the game." In his words, he continues to create Freedom Wars videos because, "I want to show off what the Vita can do and just how great Freedom Wars is as a game." Check out his channel for some pretty impressive Freedom Wars gameplay. Freedom Wars is an excellent game, and one of the last examples of AAA gaming on the Vita. The servers are not going to be up forever, so if you're interested in playing it or going for the Platinum, then there's no better time than the present. There are still enough players online that you'll find people to help you through a mission that you're struggling on. These guys are not only helping new players progress in the game, but they're helping keep the game alive. It amazed me that after doing everything there is to do in the game, these players are still willing to jump back in and help guys like me that are still struggling to finish all the missions. Having assistance from others got me back into Freedom Wars, and while I still have over 700,000 years left on my sentence, I know that the platinum is actually a possibility, whereas before, when playing single player, it was totally out of reach for me. But more than that, I'm enjoying Freedom Wars far more playing with others than I did when I was playing on my own. Playing online is how the game is really meant to be played, and I can't recommend it enough. So guys, have you played Freedom Wars? And what did you think of it? And did you get a chance to go online and play with others? Leave a comment below, and as always, thanks for watching.